On this episode, we're going to be looking at the HK Mark 23 and 45 ACP. This one is a good one. Let's get this case open and look at it. And again, we have an excellent HK case. Wow, I love the camo. I really do. Let's get this opened up. We'll take a look and see what's inside and what comes with it. Up here up top, we've got the operator's manual, which we'll get that out because we're going to need to reference this for this firearm. We have the actual, the warranty registration. Wow, that is amazing. In the bottom here, first off, we have a clean kit. And the clean kit is HK, as it says on it. It does come with everything you need to clean this firearm, from your brushes to your brass brush, your nylon brush, your patch wands, everything. Very, very cool. In here we have a total of 6 magazines, 1 in the gun and 5 more in storage. This little compartment over here has got something in it that I really can't show you on here, so we're just going to leave it inside of there. We have batteries for this unit here. So we're going to be taking a look at this unit here because that is quite interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's get this out of the case and we'll go over it a little bit. One thing I found when I took the firearm out is this is a Mark 23 coin that was in the case. I'm not sure where this comes from. I'm not sure if it came with it, but it is in the case. First, we're going to pop the magazine out. We're going to show the magazine is empty, and we're going to show that the gun is clear. No ammunition is around me on the bench or near the firearm. This is very interesting. This Mark 23, man, these are highly sought after. They are excellent, excellent, excellent bangers. Accurate out to as far as you can see. I mean, pretty much these Mark 23s have a reputation of being just completely reliable and accurate. So this unit up front here, now before Olight and all these other brands come out with these little bitty micro flashlights with lasers in them, this is what you had to deal with. The top piece is the laser, and this is the light. This is where the batteries go. So when you take this out, the batteries in it are dead, and I do not have any to match it. Hopefully I will get some for the other review, but it takes little E90 energizers, little bitty tiny things. So man, that is just so cool. Then you've got the adjustments on the side, the touch on off, and these are from Night something. I really can't read this down here, and because it's blended in with a bird, so maybe Nighthawk, Night Eagle, Night something like that. I'm really not sure. This here says IR Laser FL, IR Laser, VIS Laser FL, VIS Laser, and off. So this is what you had to deal with back when this was produced. I'm going to look that up actually. I did not look up when this was produced. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. This firearm was designed in the early 1990s and is in service from 1996 to current date. And this thing has an accuracy out to 50 meters. That is astonishing. I decided to take this monstrosity off of there. Now, it does attach to the accessory rail itself, and then it actually screws into the trigger guard of the HK, which does have a steel insert to accept it. Operating manual is quite nice, very informative. It's got everything in here. Everything is printed in black. Some things in red as far as any warnings go. Shows how to function the firearm, how to disassemble it, feeding of it. A little bit of everything in this. And it's quite long. Shows you how to disassemble the magazines, everything, which is really, really nice, really nice. I'm going to get to the page with the specifications on there, and we're going to go over the technical specifications of this firearm. It is a 45 ACP Systems of operation is short recoil semi-automatic, locking system, Browning system, modified linkless. Barrel length on is 5.87, sight radius 7.76. Pistol is 9.65 inches long overall. Weight is 2.66 pounds with one empty magazine in it. The magazines are 12 round magazines that come in stock with it. Trigger pull and single action is 4.85 pounds claimed. Double action 12.13 pounds claimed. We're going to test that. Its height 5.9 inches, width 1.53. Tells the muzzle velocity, staggered, polygonal bore right hand twist rifling. The safety features are safety lever manual, double action mode with 12.1 pound trigger pull, firing pin block, and disconnector. We're going to take a nose to tail look at this. It does come with a threaded barrel. Now the threaded barrel, this piece comes off of here, and it does come with an actual flash hider that you can put on here when shooting it. I think that was really cool. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave that on there just because that's so dang cool looking, man. That is just cool. It's got an accessory rail for all your lights, lasers, chainsaw combo. Whatever you want this thing to be. I mean, if you run out of bullets, you can take this off and throw it at somebody. The trigger guard itself is very, very large. A glove finger would have no problem getting in here, seeing as I can put 2 fingers through that trigger guard. It is serrated on the front of the trigger guard and flips out if you do choose to hold it that way. It has a single slide lock release. It is not ambi. It is only single-sided. It does have a decocker on it, so you can pull this down and decock the firearm with one in the chamber. Nice little safety feature there. It does have ambi safeties, manual safeties on here that you pull down to fire, which is nice. It's standard like 1911-ish. The sights on it are just standard 3-dot white sights. The texture on the grip is excellent. The front and the back strap are bitey. Super bitey. Look at that. That is nice. And the side is not too bad, but that front and back is what matters when you're shooting something like this. And that is just a big firearm. The magazine release is the paddle type that you see on many European models. You can release it from the right or the left side. It's easier for a right-handed shooter to actually release it from the right side of the gun, as it would normally be the left-hand shooter's side. But it's just easier for a righty to get over there and release that magazine. The magazines do spit out of it. They do pop. Look at that. That is excellent. You need to speed reloading this, it's not a problem. Here it's got markings on it. It says HK Mark 23 caliber 45 auto. This side has no markings on the slide, but it does on the barrel. Excellent piece. Well, let's see how to field strip this. I'll take you on that adventure with me. Okay, I'm going to make an attempt to field strip this. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off that bird cage looking flash hider on there. That is just cool, man. I really like that. So you take the firearm and you push it back until it stops right there. It's got a little notchy. And you push this. I'm going to have to use this over here. Push that the rest of the way out. Disassemble your takedown. Slide stop release takedown pin. Let this go forward and pull it right off. The dual captured guide rod and recoil spring is quite interesting looking. Look at that. I mean, that is like early 90s, you know, before you really seen dual recoil guide rods and springs. But for this 45 ACP, you're going to need something heavy duty like this. Take the barrel out, standard issue. If I can manage to wiggle that out there we go. Barrel only has a little bit of wear on it, as you can see. Very nice chamber. Nice feed ramp. That is excellent. right on there, and we should have a rubber O-ring seal down here on the bottom, that green. Inside the slide looks very, very familiar, doesn't it? The locking block pin here, the machining inside of it. I do see some tooling marks along the top side of it. That's not like H&K to do that, but it is what it is. Front of that looks very, very familiar, doesn't it? Very familiar. It does have target adjustable sights, drift for windage, and it does have elevation right here on there. I just noticed that, so I wanted to point that out. Nice ramp up here on the top of the slide where the sight is. I guess that's if you need to rack it off anything, it's going to guide it right up into that, and you can do what you need to do. And also the back here just guides it right up into that nice ledge. Excellent slide serrations. I mean, by today's standards, they could be deeper, but they are what they are for this year of a model. On the inside here, look at that, how clean that is. I'm not sure how this all goes together. I've never had one of these completely apart, an H&K, but they do function very well. I do see it does have a spring that goes around here. I'm not sure what that is for, but maybe I'll do some homework on this before I take it out and shoot it, and I can share some more information with my pupils out there. Very nice. To reassemble this can be a bit of a task. You know, I took it apart before I started this just to be sure I knew how to take the thing apart because, well, I'm not that familiar with it, and it's not my firearm. So the recoil spring and guide rod goes in here. This has to go through the hole, and this just barely catches right there. Very easy to knock that off in reassembling this. But we're going to attempt it anyways. Whoop, see, there we go. Same thing happened to me in practice. I didn't expect it to go any different in here. Why should it? Why should it? It shouldn't. Put this on here. Get it back to that notch mark again. Put your slide stop catch pin back in. And we are back in business. Hey, let's get the trigger pull gauge out and take some trigger pulls on this. See how accurate that manual is. I got out the old trusty Wheeler trigger pull scale. Now, you ever wonder how reliable these are? I mean, even the electronic ones can be off. I wonder if this is actually off. But we're going to do it anyways. Right now we are in single action mode. We have it on fire so we can pull the trigger back. We're going to get a good center spot of that trigger in double action. And it's off the charts. So that is probably a 12 pound. But we're going to do the single action because that's really what we're all interested in, is that single action pull. I'm getting just at 5 pounds with that single action pull. You know, there's not many rounds do this at all. You know, the wear on the barrel and the slide and the top of the hood there, it's been shot a little bit, but not much at all. So I imagine it still has some room to be broken in. The trigger is really nice. Pretty fast reset. I really like it. It's got an excellent finish on it. It's almost like a DLC coating. I'm not really sure what that is, but it's got a really nice slide finish to it. Nice polymer frame. Just a really, really nice overall piece. I'm really looking forward to shooting this, and I am going to shoot it with this on the front of it just because I can. How about that? That rubber seal in there, keep that in one spot. I'll make sure that's good and tight when I shoot it because, man, it just looks wicked with that on there, doesn't it? It is just wicked looking. Man, thank you very much, my brother. Give me these pieces to review, share with my pupils out there some things if you've never seen before. You just wait. I've got more coming than this, and I'm going to show you some things that I've never even heard of. All right, my pupils, that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate you. Boy, that's all hunker, isn't it? The way they did it in the 90s. Wow. Wow. All right, my pupils, thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate you. And always remember to keep blowing that smoke.